What's up, everybody? An early Merry Christmas to you all. Let's just talk about Titans, the Titans season finale. First of all, let's just discuss the whole season from start to finish. No spoilers, by the way, because I don't know if any one of you have even seen all of Titans or finished the season, especially the season finale. I know that the season finale did happen a few days ago, but I'm gonna try my best to avoid spoilers as best I can. Now, Titans is a show that I've been very much looking forward to for a very long time, ever since they released the first official first look of Robin in the costume. I thought that was awesome. It is exactly how I wanted a live-action Robin to look like. Then they also released the live-action first look images of Hawk and Dove. And the trailer happened, and I'm one of the few people who actually enjoyed the trailer, including the "fuck Batman" line. But yeah, not a lot of people were happy about it, and not a lot of people were happy with the look and feel of some of the other characters. And I gotta admit, the first few episodes were kind of rough and hard to get through. There's not a lot of redeeming qualities in episodes 1, 2, and a little bit of 3. Then, however, once you get into episode 4 and onwards, it just rolls out, and you're all the way invested in the characters and in the story, and Titans ended up being one of my biggest surprise shows of the year. And, you know, who would have thought after the reactions to the trailer? First of all, Robin, Dick Grayson, Brenton Thwaites. Yet another good example of a British actor playing an American superhero, and it works. Brenton Thwaites was amazing both in the dramatic acting scenes and in the horrific action scenes, which were brutal but also very engaging. It was certain fight sequences that I don't think have ever been seen on superhero television before. Not even Arrow or Daredevil have given us this level of action. Even Punisher wasn't quite as brutal and as dynamic as some of the fight scenes performed by Robin in this show. Tegan Croft playing Rachel Roth, otherwise known to us comic book nerds as Raven. She was, again, much like the first few episodes, she was a little hard to get through, but once you actually see a few more episodes with her and you get to know a little bit more about her story, you know why she acts the way she does and why her story takes you in certain directions that it does. And she actually ended up being a very, very good character, very well developed, very well acted, as was Anna Diop, or Anna Diop, however you pronounce her name, I'm sorry, Anna Diop or Anna Diop, I don't know. Yeah, the girl playing Starfire. Starfire was one of my favorite characters from the Teen Titans universe, and I was very concerned with the way they made her look and the way they sort of changed her origin in a way, but it worked. Once you look at the entire season as a whole, her storyline, while not necessarily having the best start, it ended up holding up very well, and I'm very proud of what they did with this character of Corey Anders, Starfire. And then there's what many consider, and myself included, what many consider to be the best character on the show, Beast Boy, Garfield Logan. You didn't really get to see that much of him at first, unlike the other three characters I've mentioned, but once you get into his origin story in a way, you get to see where he comes from, and you get the introduction to the Doom Patrol, which we'll talk about later. Beast Boy actually ends up being probably the best developed character on the show, even more than Robin, which is ironic, but Ryan Potter, that's the name of the actor, he did a wonderful job portraying this fun and happy-go-lucky fellow who also has the ability to transform into a giant tiger and rip people to shreds. So that's a very nice balance that is not very easy to pull off from a lot of other actors. As far as the other actors, particularly the superhero actors in this show, I think Hawk and Dove needed some more screen time. I liked what they were going for with those two characters, and I especially enjoyed the origin story that they gave them, but I don't think we saw enough of them to get fully invested enough so that once you actually get to a finale episode and you know what happens with these two characters in the finale, I don't think the show has earned that moment of seeing what happens with Hank and Dawn in the finale. I really do believe they should have had at least one more episode with these two characters, because also they weren't very well spaced out. The two episodes that they got before the finale, they had one episode which was the second episode of the season, and another episode which was the third to last episode, the second or third, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think we needed a little bit more meat to their storyline, somewhere down the middle of the season to get even more invested. I want to know what happened between these two characters and the character of Dick Grayson, and why Hank is very much untrusting of Dick, and this whole love triangle between Hank, Dick, and Dawn. I was actually very interested to know, what happened there. So we didn't get it, and that's fine. Maybe we'll get it in season 2 because they've already confirmed season 2 is coming. But yeah, that is a bit disappointing. Jason Todd, though. Jason Todd was a surprise character. I mean, it wasn't much of a surprise. I knew he was coming. I knew there was going to be an episode about Jason Todd, the second Robin, who later in life becomes the Red Hood, but that's another story. I was not expecting to gravitate to this character as much as I did. I think his episode may or may not have been my favorite episode this entire season. The way they handled the sort of passing of the baton, but this Robin is a different Robin. It's not, your typical fun and happy-go-lucky Robin. This is a dark character, and the way they portrayed him, both acting-wise and writing-wise, it was, again, like I said, my favorite episode of this entire season. Donna Troy, obviously we didn't get to see much of her, but the little stuff that we did get to see, she was amazing, she was incredible. The lasso scene alone made her inclusion into the season worthwhile, and yeah, I'm really glad we get to have a Donna Troy character in live action. Then there's the Doom Patrol episode, which I didn't felt look good at all from the early teases to the show where they showed the dinner scene. I thought that scene looked completely ridiculous, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. But once you actually get to see the episode and you get to see that scene take place in context, and you understand why certain things are happening, it works. And the Doom Patrol episode is my second or maybe third best episode of this entire season, because, well, it really is that good. And now we have to talk about the man himself, Batman. I was afraid of how they were going to portray Batman. I really, really didn't want another Supergirl situation where they brought in Superman in season 2 just to make Supergirl look good. I think Tyler Hoechlin did a good job playing Superman. I'm just not happy with the way the showrunners decided to write his character, necessarily. And I was very much afraid the same thing was going to happen this time again with Batman. I really did not want the good name of Batman to be soiled. And oddly enough, that didn't happen. I mean, we did get to see a different side of Batman, a Batman that we've never ever seen in live action. At any rate, we did see kind of a vicious, murderous Batman in Batman v Superman, but this Batman is just blows that out of the water. I mean, he straight up murders people, and not just supervillains, but just security guards and police officers. He mows down people like nothing. Yeah, it's not even a spoiler because we see it in the trailers, and I'm not gonna spoil something else that Batman may or may not have done in this episode, but I think Batman was handled perfectly. This is the exact way you should have brought this character into the show. And I really enjoyed the fact that they danced around the fact that I didn't necessarily have an actor playing Batman in speaking roles. They were just incredible, the way they danced around that whole idea, both with the story and with the shooting techniques. It was amazing. Batman, surprisingly enough, is one of the best handled characters in this show, and technically we only did get to see Batman on screen in one episode, but the way they handled his semi-appearances throughout the entire season, I think, is a credit to the people who worked on this show. Overall, this show was very good, very well done. I really hope the second season can continue that magic. But to finish off, let's talk about the post-credit scene. Now, I did see that the post-credit scene was put on YouTube a few days ago. I didn't know if it was a post-credit scene or if it was a tease to the next season, so I didn't watch it. I had to enjoy it, to experience it while watching the show. But this is the only area where I'm going to draw the line of spoilers, and I'm going to talk directly about what we see in the post-credit scene because it's very important. So, the post-credit scene, if you haven't seen it already, I apologize, but it takes place somewhere in Metropolis, set inside a Cadmus laboratory. And if you don't know who Cadmus is, then it's literally spread all over anywhere DC, from Smallville to Supergirl to Young Justice. If you know what Cadmus is, then you probably already know what's going to happen in this post-credit scene, but let's just talk about it anyway. We see a test subject escaping from a tube that looks a little bit like a cloning tube, and he's got a tattoo of the Superman logo on his shoulder, and then he releases a white dog from a cage surrounded by green light, and then the dog's eyes glow red. If that wasn't enough of a hint for you guys, then let me just explain to you what exactly this is. Superboy and Krypto. My mind is blown. They've actually went there this early in the show's run. We get to see Superboy and Krypto, and possibly in season 2 of Titans, which is getting more and more hyped by the second. Superboy, first of all, this isn't exactly the live action debut of Superboy. We did get to see a more or less fairly accurate version of Superboy in the final season of Smallville. Krypto, on the other hand, even though we did get to see a Smallville episode where Clark Kent had a superpowered dog, and the episode was named Krypto, eventually that wasn't very much Krypto-ish, and they ended up calling the dog Shelby. Regardless, we're getting Krypto the first time in live action. Krypto, the super dog, Superman's pet. Maybe, hopefully, we can get to see Superman in season 2, and maybe, hopefully, this time it's actually gonna be a good Superman, not what they did with him on CW. But yeah, now we've got Batman in the show, and now we're probably maybe even gonna see Superman in the show. Maybe one day we get to see Wonder Woman, since Wonder Girl is technically a part of the show. If you couldn't already tell, I'm ecstatic, I'm over the moon about this. I can't wait to see season 2, and I really hope you guys feel the same. And you guys can't wait to see season 2 as well, right? So, let me know what you think about season 1 of Titans, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hello again, everybody. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel where I do all kinds of weird stuff like showcase all these things, trailer reactions, movie reviews, all kinds of fun stuff. So, until next time, I'll see you guys next time.